So as you can remember in the MVVM second approach, we did added two files, bind view and bind view controller. And we said that from there it is very easy to convert it into coordinator pattern. So let's have a look. In this coordinator pattern, I have added a protocol, which is the heart of the coordinator, as I said in the slide. So here we have a child coordinators variable and a start function. And the child coordinators is an array of coordinator, and it can add more coordinator into it, which might be used to navigate to that coordinator. So let's see how we have implemented the coordinator pattern in the code. So we said earlier in the slide that each coordinator represents a feature. So here in our project, we have three features actually: home screen, detail screen, and favorite screen. The main two screens are home screen and favorite screen. And the detail screen, we navigate from home screen. And we have a dashboard. The dashboard consists of a tab view controller. So these are the four features actually. So let's have a look how we have implemented the coordinator pattern here. So each feature will have its own coordinator, its own views, and its own view models. So I have made it plural because there could be multiple view models or multiple views in the same feature. You can break down a big feature into small feature, then you might have more views or more view controllers and more coordinator. So that's how we named it as plural, but in our case it's only a singular feature. So let's have a look. So the view consists of view and view controller, as we have seen in the MVVM. Is the same case in the coordinator as well. So all the view related files I have put it into views. The view controller and any kind of cell. The model is the exactly same as the MVVM, the home view model. And finally, we have a coordinator, which is home coordinator. So everything related to home, it will be in the home screen folder, and coordinator will be responsible to manage those. So let's have a look how the coordinator looks like. So this is the coordinator class, and it inherits the coordinator protocol. So we need to conform to the protocol, which is we need to have a child coordinators and a start function. So the child coordinator is currently empty, and let's just fold it for now. Let's just focus in the child coordinators and start. In the start, you can see that this is exactly from the previous MVVM second approach. So we have a view model and a view which consists of a view model, and a view controller which consists of a view and a view model. So from there, we need to assign a coordinator in the view controller, because each view controller, it will have a coordinator. Here in this case, the home view controller, it has a coordinator which is home coordinator. So we need to assign this home coordinator, this self coordinator, into the view controller coordinator. And this is very important. Sometimes you just do everything right, but still it's not working. The navigation is not working because of this line was missing. Oftentimes this is the case with the coordinator pattern. So give special notice to this, and yeah, after that everything you set up, you do the navigation like this. So we here we are initializing the navigation controller. We are inheriting from the base navigation controller, and we are initializing it here because we have two tabs: the home tab and the favorite screen tab, and each will have its own navigation. So we need to initialize it in the in its respective coordinator like this, and then we set the coordinator. And in different case, we push the coordinator and pop the coordinator, but I mean push the navigation or pop the navigation. But here in this case, we need to set the view controller with the navigation. So this is the home coordinator, and from home coordinator we will go to the detail coordinator, because as you can remember, if we run the app, This is the home coordinator, and if you click a cell, it will go to the detail page, which is now detail coordinator. So it will take a URL parameter and it will move to the detail page. So let's see how we pass the parameter and move to the detail page. So this is the detail screen and this is the detail coordinator. So we need to have a URL and we are taking the URL from the initializer. Also, we are taking the navigation controller because the navigation will come from the parent coordinator. In this case, home coordinator is the parent coordinator. Here we are initializing the actual navigation and we are passing the navigation through the detail coordinator initializer. Here this is the detail coordinator and we are passing a navigation controller and a URL, and then we are actually starting the coordinator, the child coordinator. First, we need to remove any kind of child coordinator if it is there, and then we are appending in the child coordinator the new coordinator, which is the detail coordinator, and then we are starting the coordinator. To start a coordinator, you have to call the start function, otherwise it will not start. So that's why we have the start function. So here we are passing the navigation and the URL. And as you can see in the detail coordinator, the navigation is optional because it is getting the value of the navigation from the parent coordinator, which is the home coordinator. Also, we need to have the URL. With this URL, we'll call the API and we'll get the detail of that Pokemon. So we need to have that URL. So let's see how we are using that URL. So in the view model, we need to pass the URL. So like this, in the view model, we are passing the URL, which is this URL. And then we are creating a view with the view model and a view controller with the view and the view model. So in the view model, if you remember, here is the URL. And with the URL, we were calling API. So that's how you pass the data from one coordinator to another coordinator. And also you pass the navigation from one coordinator to another coordinator. And now you can see this detail coordinator is responsible for pushing the view. Here we are using the push view controller, but the home coordinator, we were using set view controller because there's nothing to push actually. It was setting the view controller. Here we are pushing the view controller. And yeah, that's it. And let's have a look at the pivot view controller. Also remember we need to assign the coordinator, the self, which is this detail coordinator, to the view controller. Here in the view controller we have a coordinator and we need to assign it from here. Also let's see from the where we are actually invoking the navigation. Here in the home view controller, when we were tapping any cell, we were invoking the on-tap closer, and the on-tap closer was capturing a URL. Then we are passing that URL in the navigation detail screen. So through this coordinator, we are calling the navigation detail screen, and in the navigation detail screen, we are passing the URL. So here we are navigating using the coordinator. We are not the view controller is not handling the navigation itself, but the coordinator is handling the navigation. So this is all about the coordinator and how to pass the data, how to pass the navigation, and how to call the coordinator. And let's see the final coordinator, which is pivot coordinator. So if you understand the previous two coordinator, this is very simple, nothing new here. We have child coordinators here, navigation, and this is one of the main navigation controller because we have two main navigation controller, one from home view controller and one from pivot view controller. So pivot coordinator, this is initializing another second navigation controller, and this is exactly from MVVM second approach, only we have to assign the coordinator here, and then we are setting the view controller like this. So for assigning, after assigning the first two two main coordinators, home screen and favorite screen, you need to make the dashboard coordinator. The dashboard coordinator actually, and this is the tab bar controller. We are inheriting from the tab bar controller. We could give it a name tab view controller, but I preferred dashboard view controller. So it's actually only the tab bar, and in the tab bar, if you remember in the previously in the scene delegate we had this function, but now inside the coordinator we have this function. So the dashboard coordinator also inherits from coordinator. It needs to confirm the protocol. So the child coordinators are there, and the start function. In the start function, we have declared two coordinator, the home coordinator and the favorite coordinator, which is our two main coordinators. And then in the child coordinator, we are adding those two coordinator, and with the start function, we are starting the coordinator. And in the like the previous approach, we declare two variable, first and view controller and second view controller, and assign the navigation there, and added the name of the tab, which is home and favorite tab, and give it a image. And then we started the view controllers like this. Finally, we assigned the dashboard controller as the root view controller of the window and started the window. And we are getting the window from the initializer. So let's have a look at the scene delegate now. So in the scene delegate, we just declare the dashboard coordinator with the window, and then we are starting the coordinator. So as you can see, this makes much more cleaner and much more easier, I would say. So that's how you use a coordinator. It is very flexible and it handles all the navigation. And this is very useful, or one of the best framework, best architecture to use in a production project or in a large scale application. I have personally used it in a large scale application, and this is super handy and super scalable. So you can try it. So that's it all. That's it all about coordinator.